is in business with Conor McGregor on the real estate venture in Ireland. They're losing money out. A lot of people don't know this, but where the Black Ford's in, Conor McGregor owns 3 pubs. Conor McGregor and Dana White had this big idea to buy the historical areas, all these old warehouses, all these old pubs and restaurants, in the same location as, and a famous location, by all these old historical buildings. A person goes to Ireland, there are restaurants there are pubs there. If you live in the United States and your grandparents, your great-grandparents immigrated from Ireland, it's a good chance they ate at some of those places. Or drank a beer, walk down those streets. There are old historical buildings. Any person can travel from around the world and see historical shit in Ireland. And Dana White and Conor McGregor, they had this big idea, they had this big idea to buy all these buildings, all the buildings in that area that they could invest millions of dollars. And they decided what they're going to do is knock them down. Knock down the historical buildings. Just knock them down with a wrecking ball. Push them up in a pile with a bulldozer and haul them to the landfill. So they bought all this real estate, made all these plans, presented the ideas, had to pay engineering companies, surveying companies, all kind of shit. Had to draw it up how they would upgrade them. They would have to tear up the existing piping, plumbing, water pipes, the infrastructure had to be gutted. They'd have to repave the roads, sidewalks. Their plan, Conor McGregor, Dana White, Habitats' big plan was to build high-rise buildings in the historical areas. build high-rise buildings, have casinos, strip joints, discotheques, make it like Las Vegas. Turn it like Las Vegas. Keep the shit going 24/7 in Ireland. It's what Ireland needs, right? So they paid these engineers, all this kind of shit, and they took the plans to the planning zoning to get approval. They looked at it and they looked at the plans and they said, all these buildings that you have planned, all these high-rise buildings, all these restaurants, all that shit, the plumbing that's in the ground, it won't carry all that commercial shit. These are small businesses. Some of these areas are warehouses. You don't need to have one toilet. You're talking about putting high-rises that have showers, toilets, restaurants, whatever, pouring grease down the drains. Have to have an upgraded sewer system, and all these sewer pipes and all these streets will have to be torn up. So you got to go back and make that plan. And they had to pay civil engineers, they had to pay mechanical engineers, and they had to pay all kind of engineers, draftsmen. They had to pay all these people to draw these blueprints up and all this shit. From where they built all this shit, had to meet up somewhere and match the plumbing in some location. Right? They could disconnect everything to the old plumbing. Some people don't have any concept of what it takes to do big business, big construction. Some people just don't know how much shit's involved. But they had to propose, they had to draw, they had to basically paint a picture, sketch the whole picture out with dimensions. Conor McGregor, they had parking decks planned, all kind of shit, all kind of shopping, high-end retail. Wanted to keep the shit going set 24/7 and make Ireland like Las Vegas. Dana White likes Las Vegas. That's how Dana White wants it. Dana White and Conor McGregor invested all that money to make that presentation. They went back and said, here's all that. And they said, what about the electrical? How you gonna, all them, see them fucking telephone poles outside, them poles, them little bitty wires go into warehouses. Then that's not gonna work. You wanna have shopping centers and malls and casinos and all this shit. You're gonna have to have electrical engineering company, electrical engineers show us how they're gonna feed the electricity to all these businesses you propose, and it's going to have to be all underground upgraded utilities. And at whatever point they got to hook all that to feed it from, it's a lot of people just don't have their mind, they can't get their mind around what it takes to do big construction. So Dana White, Conor McGregor out there, they're trying to get approval to build their utopia of sin. Okay, and the board. This is all true and verifiable. Any person can look it up. When Conor McGregor went back and said, this is everything. This is down. They made a little scale of all that shit, like a little toy. You see the thing on a big table. Right? They showed everything where the shopping centers would be, and the condominiums, and the townhomes, and the hotel, the fancy hotels. They had all these little models. Paid some company to spend all and made all this everything. They made a model of the whole thing, and all this shit drawn out with all the specifications. This is how deep the hole needs to be. This is how big the wires need to be. This is how many feet of wire to do this and that, and it's a lot of fucking money to figure that shit out. Most people just think somebody shows up, they say they want to build something right here, and you just start building it. It's not how it is. Building the building is the easy part, getting this shit ready. Sometimes it's more difficult than just building the building. When you're building a building, you're not doing it yourself. You're telling people what to do. They're 20, 30, 40, how many ever people you're telling them. Shit gets done fast when you got the right people. So they just keep putting money into this and money into this idea, money into this idea. They went back in front of the board of Ireland, the planning and zoning board, and they said, ready to go. Start knocking these buildings down. So that looked right, and they said, yeah, it does. But here's the thing, we've been advised both of these species are on the endangered list. You can't just knock these buildings down. You have to capture the bats and physically relocate them to another area safely. So they had to pay all these buildings. They had to pay companies to trap bats, trap them in a safe, humane way and relocate them. Took a lot of shit. They didn't just go out there and just do something to exterminate them. They had to, and there were inspectors there making sure they didn't. If they'd have seen dead bats laying around, they'd have got up Conor McGregor's ass. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. Conor McGregor, he goes back. And whatnot out there and say, okay, we did all this shit. We paid all these engineers, various types of engineers. We paid all these surveying companies. We know exactly how many tractors we're going to have here and there. We know how many cranes we're going to have, what size they are. And the company's lined up to bring them. We're ready to start knocking these buildings down. We got rid of the bats. They said, hang on just a minute. There is an invasive vine that grows on these buildings, on all of these buildings, most of these buildings. An invasive vine. Some kind of invasive vine. And they said if you knock down these buildings and relocate the debris to a landfill, you will be relocating the vines, the invasive vines. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to eliminate the invasive vines by chemical means, and then remove the vines. Physically remove the vines, place plant and pull them up, and you'll have to burn them. You have to kill all the vines on all these buildings and pay someone to remove the vines, then burn them. Before you knock this building down. And Dana White and Conor McGregor just kept spending